Good evening. Welcome to this evening's Rikers Beard Live.
Yes, this evening's show is brought to you by Budweiser Light and Liverpool winning the Premiership. What do you got there, James?
Thatcher's goal. Did you mention something about the association football, Richard?
Yes, the Liverpool clinched the title this evening, this afternoon rather. And well, actually, my lad's game came first. A must-win game for my lad, who's now in a very good position to win his league. He plays in the Kent League in Kent, in the top division, and he won 6-1 today. And he did a Bruce Grobbelaar-like save. It was incredible. And then Liverpool went and won against Tottenham, which I know is not a big achievement, and they won 5-1 to clinch the English Premier League division. So I am very merry and bright. What have you been up to, sir?
Well, I've been out in the garden with dear Gary, who's been helping me put our shuttlecraft back together, ready for our trip down to Portsmouth next weekend.
Next weekend? Is that when we're going? Next weekend?
We leave on Thursday evening, and we're down there for Friday lunchtime. So anyone who's in Portsmouth from Friday lunchtime, if you want to come and help us unload, that will all be appreciated.
Yeah, all hands on deck. Many hands make light work. If you can give us a hand with lifting and carrying, etc., over the course of the weekend, runs back and forth to the chip wagon, the bar, the kebab. We appreciate all the help we can possibly get. But before we get on to that, let's just say hello. Right, let's go for it. So, hey, Gary, how the devil are you, chaps? Fantastic to have you aboard, as always. Mark, hey, how you doing, buddy? Christoph, the loyal Christoph, and possibly my second favourite person I see at a convention. Do you know when you have somebody you see at a convention that's always there, and it's just always so happy to be there, like just really happy. Doesn't matter what's going on. He's just really happy to be there. I love your vibes and your energy, Christoph. So fantastic. Miles, how you doing, buddy? Fantastic to have you aboard. Chris, hey, Chris, how are you? The lovely Victoria, hello, how are you? James is aboard. Hey, James. Marina will not be happy about that Liverpool game. Sadly, I don't care. Yeah, we had this as the show started, James. Your audio is apparently it did seem a bit low. If you can.
How about now? I've twiddled with some knobs.
It sounds a little bit better to me, but if you could let us know.
Yes, all right. Let me twiddle with some more knobs.
Yeah. So basically, if you're watching the show for the first time, hi, lovely to meet you. We're going to talk about Star Trek. Try and talk about Star Trek for the next hour. And we'd love for you to jump on and say in the chat, please do, your favorite show, your favorite character, and also please do say where you're from, because we love the fact this show has a huge global reach. I mean, it's genuinely it's one of the nicest things about doing this show. It's just wonderful. It's a very Star Trek feeling that we get people from all over the planet that say hello. So please do hop in the chat and say hello, say where you're from, favorite show and favorite character. But let's get straight into it. Yes, we're going to Portsmouth next weekend, and we're going to be bringing the shuttlecraft.
Now, just how's the audio now? I've just tried something.
To me, you're a little bit quiet, but I've been struggling with an ear infection since September. So
all right, okay. Well, there are no more things I can twiddle with to boost the gain. But
try moving the microphone closer to your mouth. That might help.
All right, I'll bring it slightly closer on the desk.
Well, there we go.
Right, you asked me a question and I got sidetracked. What did you ask me? Sorry, Richard.
So this weekend we're going to Portsmouth. We're heading down on the Friday.
We are.
We're hoping to arrive Friday lunchtime-ish.
Lunchtime-ish, yes, just in time for a pint.
And we are bringing with us
the bridge,
the Rikers Beard Bridge. Yep.
The transporter room.
So you can. Oh, the selfies on the transporter room are some of my favourite.
And of course, the shuttlecraft.
And the shuttlecraft. So all that's heading your way to Portsmouth Comic Con this weekend coming. We can't wait to see it. We genuinely can't. We've not brought all this kit out for a while. We're really looking forward to this. It's our first con in over a year.
It's August 23, I realised, was the last time we'd taken any of the sets out anywhere. So we've got a bit of dusting to do.
Yeah.
The shuttle, it's taken a bit of damage in storage. You're going to have to do a bit of painting on her, I think, in the next couple of days.
And so it's not only us going to Portsmouth Comic Con. I hear that also Norman Lovett and Chris Barry, friends of the show, will be in attendance.
Yes, they're there, and Doug Naylor.
Oh, Doug Naylor's going to be there. Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so it's a Red Dwarf Holy Triumvirate.
Do you know what? I don't like going on. It's not Star Trek, but certainly when I was going through difficult periods of my life when I was much younger, I had some VSH tapes of Red Dwarf season 1 and 2. But, yeah,
you've been doing too much LDS again.
Yeah, and these VHS tapes I used to watch of season 1. They weren't knockoffs; they were real ones. And I used to watch episodes of Red Dwarf at night until the early hours of the morning, and I very much felt like the cast members had become my. These tapes were gold to me, and I really wish I hadn't just thrown them out in the bin, because it would have been absolutely fantastic to get the cast member to sign them, just because it would be personal to me, especially Doug Naylor. So there we are. I mean, if you've got a VHS Red Dwarf tape that you don't want in your loft, please do bring it to Portsmouth Comic Con. I'll give you something like 50p for it, and then I can get it signed. Or possibly a guitar pick. Yes, there's going to be merchandise on sale. I will come to that a little bit later on. So jumping quickly back into the comments. Rashid says, hi, I'm Rashid. I'm in London. And Chris is on season 4 of Voyager at the moment. A little bit behind there, Chris. Christoph says, next weekend, I was sad not to be at Portsmouth Comic Con, but I cannot come over every con. Just did my second over here, though. Fantastic. I'm glad you...
Which one was that, Christoph? I know FedCon may be coming up, or is that not yet?
Both solid, good choices, but both wrong there, Rashid. Can't wait. Honestly, can't wait, Vicky. It's going to be lovely to see you and the girls.
Yeah, we're going to give you a pot of filler and some paint, and let you get on with fixing the shuttle.
Yeah, I mean, these are all things that this is why we do it, isn't it, James? Because we love seeing people's eyes light up when it really is. It's amazing.
Well, everybody loves to sit in my big comfy television chair, don't
they? So Gary says, are you going to be signing the guitar picks that we're going to be saying? Well, the answer is yes.
That's the size of a guitar pick.
Yeah, so... I will need my glasses, but yes, I will be signing them. And James will be too, so we're going to have to write really small.
Have you seen my signature?
We'll initial the pick.
Electric spider having a fit on top of a pencil.
We shall initial them. Okay. Rashid says, loving James's Admiral uniform on display. Well, we've got some... Have we got some Admiral news we can share, or possibly just a small hint?
Some Admiral news?
Something to do with an Admiral costume?
No.
No, we're going to keep that under wraps, are we? Okay.
We are keeping that under wraps for the time being. Yeah, no, until we've actually, in hand got some products.
Understood. I don't want to cause smoke without fire, but
But yes, anyone who likes being an admiral,
stay tuned. Stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. Vicky says that's why she's bringing her kids, because #child labor. We can't send them to the bar.
How to use duct tape, can't we, Richard?
Yes. We'll send one of them to the shops for some gaffer tape scissors. So, Christoph, you did 2 cons in Austria, FedCon at NMA, then Destination, and then Vienna. As always, mainstay conventions. But he's it wouldn't be a convention without him. That's the thing. It's sad he's not going to be there in Portsmouth. But we've got lots of other friends coming to Portsmouth. Looking forward to seeing them.
Oh, we are so looking forward to Portsmouth. It's like our first proper con in ages, and we're being treated like royalty, aren't we, Richard?
Sorry, you're a little bit quiet, James. You have to speak up a little bit.
Hang on, I'll go right up to the microphone if I have to.
That's better.
So we're being treated like royalty. We're going to have such a lovely time, aren't we? Because
at Portsmouth.
Yeah, we
No,
are.
we're
the
not,
Star
because
Trek. No.
you wouldn't ask for the hotel I wanted. I asked to stay in the Queen's Hotel, and you said it's fine for us to stay in the Travelodge. So don't be saying, "Oh, we're going to be treated like royalty,"
Well,
right?
we're
Because
treated like all the other guests.
yeah, oh, we aim in the same hotel as Norman Lovett. No, well, we've done that before, haven't we? We were in a hotel. Who was it? We were with who was the attractive lady that we were at Folkestone? Samantha Janus.
Samantha James, that was.
Samantha Janus. Yes,
I can't remember what the hotel was.
it was a lovely hotel.
Hmm. Yeah, that was the night of Eurovision, wasn't it? It was great fun, and we had a Eurovision singer in the room with us. Oh, look, we've got a late joiner.
What
There he is.
hotel?
There's
How
our
the devil
man.
are you?
Evening, gents. How are we?
Oh, all the
Good.
better for seeing you, my good man.
Good. Ah. By the way, Richard, I've got a new selfie stick to take to Portsmouth. Look at this. It's like a kosh. It's like-
All right. And what does that sort of do it all for you? Does it?
Well, it's one of these that I had a smaller one before, but the controls died. It has a little remote control on it that you can pop out, and then as
Okay.
you're holding your selfie stick like that, you can press the button to take the photograph.
We could ask someone to take a picture for us.
Well, we could do, but on the basis we don't have any friends,
Yeah. Generally, we're swatting people away wanting selfies with us. So
Yes. Are we going to get our headshots done before Portsmouth? That's the question.
now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions viewing around the world, everyone's waiting to see something. And now Carl is here. Let's catch up with Carl first. Carl, what have you been up to? What have you been up to this week?
This week has been very much a case of work, unfortunately.
And how has Star Trek enabled you to get past that?
It's allowed me in the latter moments of my day to kind of go, put something on and just...
That's it. Generally, it's the escapism, isn't it? This is what
Absolutely.
like friend of the show, when Tony says, "Have you read my latest crime thriller yet?" And my answer is, was there a dinosaur in it? Was there a spaceship in it or a robot? No. Well, I can't escape to a crime thriller. So I need more than that. Don't get me wrong. I've read several of Tony's books. I've enjoyed every single one of them. But to escape, as Carl is alluding to, I think that's really why. When you really get down to it, I think that's why we all love Star Trek so much. It is the escapism. I do think it is.
And it's such a lovely escape as well.
Oh, it's marvellous. Yeah. Marvellous.
Yes.
A quick hello to Adam.
Oh, hi.
Adam,
I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Really looking forward to seeing you on some Sunday. You're coming down. I think someone's told me you're staying in the evening, so we must go out for a meal or some such on Sunday night. It's going to be great to see you, buddy. So, the main event then. I mean, this is what everyone's been waiting to see. So this week, not Santa Claus, but Mr. Amazon has been delivering. It sounds a bit like Santa Claus. My one does. Has been delivering some things that they've been highly anticipated for some time because, do you know what? I don't want to go into it too much, but I am quite conscious of the fact that people are struggling to understand you a little bit here. A couple of people said in the comments, James, so you're going to have to perhaps move the microphone.
Bring the microphone to me.
If you could move it a bit closer, this would help. And I'll let you sort of take it from here.
All right.
I shall enlarge you, James.
I beg your pardon?
I shall enlarge you.
Oh, I've been embiggened. Yes. So some years ago, our friends at the Wand Company produced a Star Trek Bluetooth communicator, and it was. I don't have mine to hand. It was a thing of beauty. It was beautifully machined. It was heavy. And the most beautiful thing about it, of course, is that you could slave it to your phone and you could go and you could make a phone call on it and walk down the street. And pretty much the day they were released, I did. Hardly ever used it since. But it was a lovely piece. Most people have a problem with them, by the way, that if you don't charge them continuously, the battery dies. And Richard had to basically do CPR on mine to resurrect it. And he'll probably have to do it again for me at some point, because I haven't left it on continuous charge for the last 3 years. So, but then again, I'm not using it. Anyway, after that, they also produced this, which was the classic phaser. I mean, I have to say that if you were to say, show me a ray gun, this is the ray gun, isn't it? This is a classic science fiction pistol, and it's a beautiful thing. It's machined in every way. It's heavy, it's metal. The phaser one pops out and operates as an independent unit. Oh, it's lovely. It vibrates. It has a self-destruct mode.
So just quickly, James, can you explain the science between having the because I've always wondered the detractable, smaller handheld phaser rather than, is this to improve accuracy, range, power, all three? What's the idea behind having it?
The logic of it, the Phaser 1, as it was called, was designed to be basically clipped surreptitiously onto the back of your belt. So Kirk, for example, would wear it under his tunic. I mean, it would still be obvious because it was a skin-tight tunic, but it was a small, unobtrusive weapon that he would just carry for defensive purposes. The Phaser 2, which was a clever design of saying, well, you put the Phaser 1 in the top and it has much more power, was essentially designed to be a much more powerful weapon.
It's an amplifier then.
Yeah, an amplifier, but that is meant to be the power cell for the phaser, and that is meant to be a far more effective lens. So it's meant to be a vastly more powerful weapon. And we only ever saw a phaser rifle, I think, in TOS, possibly once in the cage.
Yeah.
It was meant to be a very powerful weapon.
And the rifle version that had the smaller, sneaky version as well. That was the main weapon. It was just the rifle wasn't a bigger amplifier.
No, it wasn't. It was a completely standalone unit. So you didn't slot a Phaser 1 with a Phaser 2 into a Phaser 3.
That's a shame because I'm thinking like Ultron, but you know.
So anyway, the Wand Company produced these, and they had a reputation for fantastic level quality. And then they announced, and I think it must have been possibly as early as 2017, that they were going to do the tricorder, giving you the complete landing party set that communicates the phaser and the tricorder.
This is almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah, I think it probably was. And it has taken a long time to get to the point where the Wand Company has released it. And they sent out emails about 3 weeks ago saying that they were now ready. Now, what has happened here is chaotic. So, if you were interested in the tricorder, you were invited to sign up and you would get a certificate. I think that was about 4 years ago now, possibly even 5. And you could say, yes, please keep me updated. Everybody assumed that by signing up, you would automatically be invited to buy one as soon as they became available. You were guaranteed to get one, something like that. That's not to say that that's not what will actually happen. But what happened in the course of the last week was a bit frantic, in that they had indicated they were going to release them via Amazon. They hadn't indicated exactly when. They said what we'll do is we'll send out emails to groups of people one at a time or in waves as the stock is available. And one link went live and was published by 1 or 2 people. It found its way into the public domain, causing an absolute scramble by everybody who wanted to get hold of a tricorder. And it turns out, I think they were only available in the UK, and I think there were only 200 units initially released. And the link hadn't actually been intended to go out at all. I think it had been leaked prematurely, which has caused a bit of reputational damage, unfortunately, for our friends at the Wand Company, because everyone's bemoaning about this disaster and crying.
So people have been having trouble getting a hold of them.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't, because I've got one right here.
Is this because when you ordered it, you said that you were on Rikers Beard Live? Is Is this why you've done it?
I just clicked on the link on Amazon. So,
So
I
if
was then expecting it would take some time to arrive, and oh look, what
Well,
arrived in the post? But this box.
I've got the link here. If I try and order one now, would I be able to, or would it?
Well, why don't you try it, Richard, and let's see.
All right.
Anyway, while you're doing that, look, I'll show you. Now, I'm not an American teenager, so I'm not going to do some tedious, oh, look at me opening the box. I'm going to slip this seal now. I'll just show you what's in here. So you open it up, and you get this box, which is a lovely glossy box that says USS Enterprise Standard Issue Tricorder. And inside it is... If I can get the thing to open. There we go. Bear with. Nothing, because I've taken it out already.
I thought it was going to be a Star Wars figure.
But sitting in there was the tricorder, and I'll explain what those were in a minute. One thing it doesn't come with, by the way, which both the phaser and the communicator did, was a molded storage case. So both of those had a beautiful thing, said standard issue.
Right, come in.
You got.
I have an Amazon delivery parcel.
Already? Oh, thank you very much. Wow. Well, that's come quick.
Right. Okay.
That
looks very similar to this box.
Yeah, that's come very quickly.
All right.
Sorry, James. Continue.
Okay. So what's actually inside? If you well, the first thing you'll find is this beautiful set of instructions. There we are, upside down. So it's actually not terribly complicated. There's that much, and you can work it out yourself if you like playing with things. But yeah, so that's the instructions, and then the main event is, of course, this. Look at that lovely leatherette pouch that you get. I don't remember, Carl. Do you remember on the show? Did the tricorder ever actually come in a case?
Yeah, it's, what Spock used to carry it around in that.
Because the thing is, if you pop it out, do that rather gently. I mean, the case then has nowhere to go.
Actually, yeah, no, I'm not entirely sure. It did have that case.
So I don't know if it had a leather sort of case that they might have used, but I don't think it would have been this, because once you've taken it out, you're left holding this, and in a Starfleet uniform, you haven't got any. So what have you got there, Richard?
I honestly can't. Even the box is sexy. It's just. Oh my god. Wow.
So
it's just
inside the box. The case is this, and I'll try and bring it up to the camera. One of the things there you go. One of the things they were quite keen to impress on us when they were sending all the updates is this texture that it has to it, which is scanned from an original apparently. Just so you know, when you get one. What it doesn't make very plain in the instructions is you have to put it on charge for 4 hours before you can play with it. And just when I finally had some time to look at it, I realised I now had to leave it charging for the best part of a day before I could actually play with it. It is.
I once also took a guy out to dinner that didn't
USB-C
have those instructions.
connector. There you go, which is a standard. But let's have a look at what's inside. So 2 drawers. In this drawer, I like to keep cheese. Maybe mini Baby Bell, maybe Edam slices. What the one company has given you is a little box, and in that box you'll find the recharging cable. So it's just a standard USB-C cable that probably everyone has because you've got a mobile phone. That's probably what you use nowadays. So you can just stick it on your phone charger. In this drawer, you have the little Moya disc, and these, there we are, these little discs which I'll come on to in due course. But the main event is if you pop open the top here. So I'll have to turn it on.
Sorry, James, would you mind just doing that? Because actually, just the sound of that opening up was actually just really nice. That's lovely.
Here she is booting up. Now, I've already fitted mine with a pin so nobody can steal it. So I'll just pop that in. Listen to the noises. Hang on, there you go. Can you hear it?
Faintly, but yes, we can hear it.
Okay.
I'll do mine with a better microphone, but mine's not been on charge for 4 hours, so I can't.
Right, here we go. Access granted. So as you'll see, I've already set the time on mine. And if I now pop open that, you will see the Moya disc spinning. Look at that. Isn't that lovely?
Have you been able to work out what operating system it's using?
Yeah, it's a 23rd century operating system.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Now, these are the key things. There are 9 of these little discs that come with it, and you can basically pop them out.
No, safely eject first, James. Right. You've got to safely eject it, otherwise it could corrupt the data.
Yeah, it's not running Microsoft. It's fine. So that particular one, I've just popped out. You won't be able to see that. It says archive. There's a whole bunch of them. But whichever one you've got in that position there, the number 1 position, is the one that will now work for you. And I've got, that's a good one, logs. And so if I select, hang on, logs, would you like to name an episode of the original series? Say an episode, season 1, for the sake of it.
Oh, actually, could I have the really crap one where Spock turns into a space hippie and plays the harp?
I don't know what episode that is. All right, look, I'll just pick one.
Space Seed. Space Seed.
I think that's like season 3, isn't it?
Yeah. Go for an easy one. The Man Trap.
Well, I
Man
don't
Trap.
know the names of them. It just gives me the episode numbers. Pick a number.
3.
Not episode
Yeah.
3. Right, hang on. By the way, so these switches, the middle one, there we are, is like a jog switch that has 4 separate points on it. The other 2 are just on-off switches. So it's kind of like a little mini mouse, if you like. So I want episode 3. And let's listen to what Captain Kirk has to say.
Captain's log, stardate 1513.4. In orbit around planet M113. One crewman, member of the landing party, dead by violence. Cause unknown. We are certain
Dead by violence. How cool is
There we go.
that?
So that's what you see on the screen. When you're doing that. But also, bear with me, the tricorder has some actually inbuilt scientific functions, one of which is an audio monitor. So I just...
Will that fix your
Excuse me
microphone?
while I select the audio disc. Now what you'll notice here is, look at that, it's monitoring the sound that we're making.
Is it picking up frequencies or is it just the overall volume?
I think it's just overall volume, to be honest. But there is a different mode. Bear with me if I press the green button. Oh, look, it turns it into a waveform. Isn't that fun? Now, the other 2 scientific modes, one is an EM detector. So if you wave it around a power socket or anything with voltage going through it, it will show a very similar graph to that, just showing you what it's detecting. I have to say I tried that. It didn't detect anything. So
let's get people in Portsmouth with pacemakers to come up and we'll try and scan them.
Well, should we bring this to Portsmouth and make sure nobody steals it? Because one of the companies basically paused any deliveries for 2 weeks. And we've got to be honest, we didn't get any special treatment getting this. It was literally saw the
Well,
link,
I did. I ordered it. Yeah.
Ordered it, and it turned up. I'm sorry if people are getting angry that we've got one. I mean,
Mine came in about 5 minutes.
7 or 8 years. The fact that they said you can now buy it, I bloody well bought it. I'm not going to apologise.
No, I'm sorry, James. No, we do this show every week. I think we deserve to get them as quick as we did.
We have paid for it. It's not a freebie or anything.
You had to pay for yours.
Yes. What was the other thing I was going to look at on it? Well, actually, no, I'm not going to bore you with that. I mean, you can watch Adam, the chap of Mythbusters. You can watch his video where he goes through it in far more detail. But that's basically it, and it's beautiful.
Well, hang on, just the chap off of Mythbusters has done this. What's he
Yes,
busting with
Adam
that?
Savage, is that his name?
Adam Savage, yeah.
Is he busting the myth that it exists? What?
No, he tests all sorts of stuff. He's a big sci-fi fan. So, yeah, he's done some stuff. He's done a lovely video on it. I can't possibly improve on that. So
I beg to differ, sir. I think you're doing a sterling job.
let me see. Oh, let's see if I can get the radiation detector to work. The other one is meteorological, so it will detect the ambient
Meteor.
temperature, relative humidity, and barometric pressure, I think.
Not meteors.
Not meteors, no.
That's a shame. That would be if it could detect the meteor. That would
Can
be
you hear
brilliant.
the scanning sound?
That's a meteor. Okay, right. Right, everyone panic. Head for high ground.
Yeah. So look, all these little lights here, by the way, I don't know if anyone's noticed as I've been showing it, but they all changed. They do different colours. And the bars that appear on the screen here link to the buttons. So if you want to press whatever the red option is, that's that, the green option and so on. So it's quite intuitive so that even an imbecile like me can use it.
I'm extremely impressed with the screen, the sounds, but I just think it just looks amazing, honestly. And the vinyl just feels it's just
Yeah,
oh,
it's lovely, isn't it?
so. And forgive me to throw you under a bus here if you don't know, but where did the original design come from? Who designed the original tricorder?
It was a gentleman, I can't think of his name. It was an Asian gentleman, and he designed all of the landing party props.
I mean, I think is it Dax refers to it in the Trouble with Tribbles episode on DS9 and just says it's just plain sexy. There's no other word for it, and it really is. It is just plain sexy.
Yes, the crow. I'm trying to find. Oh, there we are. Atmosphere. That must be the one. It's a bit fiddly getting these little discs. I can see a risk that these will get lost, but they are quite securely popped in. Let's pop that in there and see what that does. Oh, there we go. So it's telling me, you probably can't see that, temperature, relative humidity, and barometric pressure. It's 22 degrees in this room, 83.5% relative humidity, 1,023 millibars.
So in the cheese drawer, how is it powered? Do you charge it up with a USB socket or
USB-C? There it is.
So is there space in the cheese drawer for the charger, or is that just
the charger is? They've got a little box in there. That's just got a USB-C charging cable in it. Otherwise, that's where you keep mini baby bells.
You can put whatever you like in there. You could carrot sticks and hummus. You could some Haribo
handcuffs.
That'd have to be for like a wee person. But yeah, you could put anything you like in there. You wouldn't be able to fit a body in there unless they're a really wee person.
Oh, look at these lovely lights. There we go. There's a whole range of settings, so you can get it to run software updates and all sorts of bits and pieces and check the buttons are all working. But that look, basically, I'm not going to bore you to tears by showing you this. That's what it is. If you do that, it goes to sleep for up to 15 minutes. After that, it will assume that you're no longer playing with it and it will power down. But if it's within 15 minutes,
the same thing happens with me.
It will come back up.
Christoph says the company was allowed to investigate and 3D scan the original tricorder prop. Yes. Funny enough, that's what they do.
What spot? Well, no, this is better than what Leonard Nimoy would have held because it wouldn't have had any of these working gubbins. It would have had just a fake screen and a couple of LEDs. Well, no, they didn't have LEDs then, did they?
So interestingly, this is what up the road from James and I, this is what Hornby Hobbies do. And this is what they're being allowed to do with the original props, ships that were made as props for their new Corgi ships they're releasing. That they are 3D scanning the original props. That's how they do, because that's what they do with the trains and stuff. They 3D scan. Well, they don't 3D scan a whole train, but they it's a similar thing.
Ooh. There's a Tholian web. Look at that.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's just a picture. That's a bit dull. What else can we look at? Space Station K7. Well,
Well,
these little pictures. That's lovely.
James, if you look in that cardboard box with the wire, you'll find there might be dividers in there, apparently.
Let's have a look at the box then.
Have a look inside the cardboard box. You might find dividers. That way you can separate your carrot sticks and your hummus.
Oh, right. Well, that's useful. Because I'll be looking for somewhere to store my packed lunch. Hang on. There we are. So inside the box, you get, there's the cable. And
Yeah, they're the dividers. She's right.
yeah, so that's for dividing up your carrot sticks and your hummus.
I'm a hummus, yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, just to finish boring everybody to tears, you get this little metal stand that comes with it. And just to reflect that's very similar to the one that the phaser came on. So we have that and that, and the way that, sorry, let me not break the phaser. What happens is you pop your tricorder, it nestles on this metal strip here so that it sort of is not quite on the deck, and that's how you can display it on your shelf or your deck or otherwise.
I mean, I'd like to talk, if you can bigify me, Carl. I'd like to talk a lot about the smell.
That new car smell, yeah?
It smells a little bit like a Honda. Oh, it is. It is. Do you know? It's going to sound stupid when you say like everything's right, but genuinely, isn't the weight just right?
Yeah.
Because you could imagine that's a good weight that says it's a solid instrument, but you won't get tired carrying it around all the day. It's a good.
Just
the finish.
This felt like it could be a real ray gun rather than a plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The finish on this is just nothing, and I suppose this is the point. Nothing looks machined.
Yeah.
Nothing looks machined at all. It's
lovely, isn't it?
It's the right amount of glossy where it should be glossy. It's the right amount of matte where it should be matte. The brushed steel is perfect. I think they must have gone to lengths
to handbag.
Yeah, I think they must have gone to lengths to make it look like you remember seeing it on screen, because it probably would have been a lot, especially the steel would have been a lot brighter than this in the original prop. It had to have been. But wow, it's just.
Yeah. So between us here, Richard, we've got 1% of the entire UK supply.
I mean, I don't think we should feel bad about hogging them and getting them first, because we use the special Rikers Beard Live code.
So in terms of merchandise, there is that, but obviously better than that is the Rikers Beard Magnetic Com Badge, which is available in almost as many numbers as the One Company Tricorder, 20 of your English pounds. And even better than that, of course, the Rikers Beard Isolinear chipset, also available from us.
And also the Rikers Beard guitar picks for Portsmouth, which are going to be on offer, which James and I are going to sign on the other side.
Don't forget the Rikers Beard Holy Water.
Yeah, Rikers Beard, and the contraceptive foam.
Yes.
Which, yeah.
Yeah, so there we have it. And Tricorder be damned. You can have a Rikers Beard Com Badge in this little frame. Look at that. Isn't that special?
Wow, that's nice. That's really nice. Will you be signing that one as well, again?
You can have the Rikers Beard 360-degree protractor.
Ooh.
So there we have it.
Right.
That's all the bits and pieces about tricorders for this evening.
Well, let's dive into the comments quickly. So,
I forgot to put away my little box where the cheese goes.
Chris says that's so sweet. He needs one. Mars gives a lovey emoji. Michaela requests that you must bring it to Portsmouth. A link. There's a link here for the less good review that Adam Savage did. The one thing Michaela wishes she had with his handheld scanner.
As in McCoy's medical scanner, yeah.
I have to say that, we were talking just before we came on air. I do actually prefer the TNG tricore. I just do. I prefer it because it still looks like it could be real. I mean, yeah, that still looks like it could be an instrument you'd use today. That's how well they designed it. Don't get me wrong, I love the TOS one, but I love this one more.
Yeah, that's
Dell,
cool, isn't it?
Dell loves the scanning sound. Yes, the sound effects on it are just incredible on the TOS one. Christoph says yes on that one. Alan's aboard, saying hello to the ladies, as always, being in no way creepy.
Talk us through Sci-Fi Scarborough, Alan. How did that go?
Now, we're getting very intense with this. Okay. Are we live next? Well,
we might be.
We might be, is the answer to that. We've got Adam, who's aboard tonight. We will be taking him out for dinner or something, I'm sure. And also, did you say Darren Jameson might be down as well? So we might be live briefly with them. We might be out to dinner with them. We'll have to see where we are. Yes, the Rikers bread pencils will be there.
Ooh.
And Alan rather cheaply says, why devalue the picks?
I think he's insulting us by us signing them.
Oh, I see. Oh, right. Yeah, no, they won't impact your playing ability in the slightest, Alan.
Alan, do tell us if you're going to be in Portsmouth, because I can get finally rid of this blasted John Barrowman CD and inflict it upon you.
Right.
So I'll pop this away. Yes. So Portsmouth is a go. If you look at our page, you may see some photographs of work on the shuttle over the last couple of days. I mean, genuinely, I was astonished to realise we hadn't been out of the hangar for 18 months. But last year was not a good year for me, personally. But yes, we didn't really do any cons last year, did we? Apart from as guests.
No, we attended a few social gatherings, and we were guests at London Film and Comic Con. But that was about it for us. How do you fold up the strap to get it back in? I can't.
Oh, you have to. Right. What you do is you sort of coil it like this and wind it down. We're going to put it back in the box.
No, but at the top though. Yes, but at the top, it's to get it into the groove. How do you get it into the groove?
Well, I think it was just resting on the top, if I remember rightly.
Oh, on top of the actual tricorder.
Yeah.
Okay. I probably should have paid more attention.
You can always re-watch the video and see how it was sitting when you opened it. So I believe, Carl, you have one on order, but yours hasn't turned up.
No, I missed out on the original 200 that were released, unfortunately. However, a very...
No, you didn't. No, because what the one company have said is that they haven't released anymore, and the fact that you got one, I think, was probably because someone else's order got cancelled, and it appeared to go back into stock.
A very fortuitous refresh at just the right time seemed to get my order through, which unfortunately means that somebody else's order got cancelled. But again, like you say, I've got the rest of the one company collection there. I had pre-registered. I waited and just happened to drop lucky. So it's due on the 5th of May.
Happy days. Yeah. Yeah, so where are you going to display it, Carl? Because
It will
you
be
put all three
displayed
of them together.
on the blue shelf
Yeah.
of the cabinet behind, which currently has the 3D chess set.
Ah.
It has the one company communicator and phaser that you've already displayed. It also has the X06 alternate universe Spock from Mirror Mirror.
Oh.
So yes, it's a tremendously well themed shelf, that one. I may have to. No, there's a gap there for the tricorder.
There's a company, isn't there? I forget the name of it. They're releasing another load of action figures, including things like Tuvix. Do you know who I mean here?
Isn't it? I know who you mean. I just can't think who the company is.
Alpha or something. Perhaps anyone in the comments will do. But yeah, they've released what would sort of definitely be called a second string of figures of characters that you didn't want, but that you'll feel that you'll have to have out of completeness. So Tuvix, possibly even Neelix himself, Rachel Garrett, and others. Yeah.
Does that mean we'll finally get an action figure of the ghost from Sub Rosa?
It would be nice to get an action. It'd be nice to get an action figure of Picard that looks like Patrick Stewart rather than Mark Strong.
Did you see that? I republished something I found on the internet during the week. It was an action figure of Picard that said with 5 lights, and there were only 4 lights in the package. Some people missed the joke, but it gathered a significant number of likes online. One of the comments that it picked up was, "I didn't realise Picard was played by Jason Isaacs," and I looked at it and went, "Yeah, actually, that looks a lot more like Jason Isaacs than Patrick Stewart."
Well, an odd thing happened to me. Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. I was surprised. I tried this Chat GPT jobby, and I put in, "Can you do me as an action figure?"
Yeah.
As a Star Trek action figure, and it said, "Yes, I can," and it came up with this.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
the first thing that strikes me about that is, look, the phase is completely wrong. Look, it's supposed to look like that.
The phase is wrong. Yeah, definitely the phase is wrong.
I mean, your head's a bit too large.
Head's a bit large. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's a bad attempt, but I'm not sure where
you're wrong. You're just a crewman.
Yeah, it was a weird one. I'm not sure why it decided to do me in this fashion. Who knows? But yeah, there we are.
I think your beard is a bit more full than usual.
Well, it does fluctuate between winter and summer. To be fair, I'll give it that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fail, though, isn't it? It's a fail on that.
I think that's a bit. I did ask it why it chose to do that, and it said, "Well, I don't know."
In fact, on one side of the packing, it says porn star, and on the other side says choking hazard. Concerns me slightly.
Well, it was the choking hazard bit that tickled me because it's definitely not accurate.
Yeah. Now,
well,
Miles has popped up here. Here we go. Yes, Miles has very kindly said, and he's wiped out Carl completely on the screen, that he's auctioning off some of his bits and pieces to help fund some of our work. And also, I think somebody has bought a con badge online, which I must find out who it is and make sure I ship it out. But yes, if you want any of our merch, it does all help with the cost of building.
All the merch will be available at Portsmouth. We've decided the guitar picks are literally going to be in return for a donation of your choice. So get your hands on one each per customer. Is that one per customer? Just for a donation of your choice.
And then there's the option for anyone to have 10 minutes in the shuttlecraft with Richard or I for the activity of your choice.
Yeah. James has put some padding on the shuttlecraft because the Trekkie girls did complain of splinters last time. It was out. So we've got the splinters covered up, and also James has damp proofed the bottom with some anti-fouling paint.
Sometimes it's also a pub.
Yeah. So you can bid to spend. Are we going for half an hour or 15 minutes?
10 minutes as
Or it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the
10
shuttle.
minutes inside the shuttle with one or other of us.
Yeah. And for an activity of your choice, I mean, we can play. Well, actually, no. I still need to finish teaching you how to play chess. So it'll have to be drafts or snap
Or the triangle.
or the triangle. Yeah.
Or the cowbell.
That might be a bit piercing in the shuttle.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Some of the new action figures are from Nacelle. They plan to do hundreds, as long as they don't make a loss. They're starting with new characters. Yeah. So no Mark Strong, please, Nacelle. We've had enough Mark Strongs. We'd quite like one of Picard.
It's a good start. Don't do Discovery.
Why would anyone buy a Discovery figure? Oh,
Well, that's
actually,
my point. They don't want to make a loss. They don't want to
no,
do
we
Discovery.
could do. And then you could build your trebuchet. But that'd be brilliant. We could make a tabletop trebuchet with Discovery figures. Oh, through a flaming... We could douse them in lighter fluid and have a flaming hoop. And we could trebuchet them through. We'd do it live on the show.
Oh, great news, Richard. As it happens, one of my random purchases from AliExpress is a tabletop trebuchet.
Is it seriously? Because that's what I was going to get you for your birthday.
Basically, I was planning to go to my friend's house and say, quick, no time to explain. We have to build this trebuchet. When I have free weekends after I quit one of my jobs.
Is it the wooden assembly trebuchet?
Yeah.
I literally ordered that for your birthday.
Well, then I'll have two, won't I, Richard? Yeah.
We could launch stuff. We could have a war. We could have a siege.
Well, can we have another siege engine like a ballista or?
What's the giant crossbow called?
I think that's the ballista.
The giant crossbow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, except it would be scaled down so it won't be a giant thing. But yeah, so those who are coming to Portsmouth, bring your action figures. Get ready to join us in the pub in the evening, and we'll trebuchet them across the bar for you.
Starting with two Vigs. Trebuchet him out the fucking airlock.
Can we play Airlock 101? No, let's not. I've got nothing ready.
Oh dear.
But we could play that down in Portsmouth, couldn't we?
Well, I'm in two minds how we're going to close the show tonight because I've got something. No, I'm not going to do it, James. I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay, all right.
I think it's poor judgment if I do. People might find it offensive.
Yeah,
So
I'll just pack this tricorder away and stick it up on eBay.
I just want to know more than anything else. Now that I know Carl hasn't had the opportunity to actually have his hands on one, but from James and I's what we've shown you, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the tricorder before we close, Carl.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I think it just looks like an absolute thing of beauty, and you couldn't. I genuinely don't think from the functions James shown me and the way it looks, I don't think you could have asked for any more from them. I think they've done an absolutely outstanding job, and I cannot wait for mine to arrive. If it was at all possible, I would book a day off work just to play around with it.
I've got to be honest, Carl. After about an hour, you'll think that's lovely. I can go through all these discs and look at the pictures. You could listen to every single one of William Shatner's captain's logs, but really,
surely you would have it out whilst you watched the original. You'd do it episode by episode with the tricorder. Yeah. That's what you'd do. You'd do a rewatch of the original series with the tricorder, listen to the mission logs as you're watching the episode. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah,
surely.
No, I'm going to be wandering around my pub with the tricorder.
You can say, well, you appear to be inebriated. No more beer for you. Goodbye.
Pretty much, yeah. Because I've got the old medical scanner on the shelf. So I can always, take that along with it. It's nowhere near the same quality, but, it'll do the job.
Something like this. My little mini medical scanner's a bit rubbish.
But if there are any footballers' wives nearby, they'll think you're hardening their nails. Always on point. Well, gosh, that's pretty much our hour done, chaps. Sorry that...
I think David's talking about the 10 minutes in the shuttle.
Ah, right. Okay, right. Well, yep. Devils in skirts. Now, yes, sorry you've been a bit of a third wheel this week, Carl, with us throwing of the tricorders and whatnot. But thank you. It's been quite an exciting episode this week with the reveal of the tricorder. I still haven't figured out how to get mine back in the box, so I will have to rewatch it. I'm worried about damaging the box now. I'm trying to ram it in. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Richard.
But until next week, where we may or may not be live on Sunday, we'll be live for maybe 5 minutes at the minimum, I would think. However, if there's any way of you getting to Portsmouth, we'd love to see you. And we want you to take lots of selfies with us and enjoy the bridge, enjoy the shuttlecraft. Are we doing the auction before or after the music? Probably before the musical interlude. We'll do the auction to see who would like to sit in the shuttlecraft with us for 10 minutes.
That's not an auction. People can just pay for that. That's fine. We can do that at any time.
All right. How much are we charging for that?
10 minutes, I don't know, 25 quid.
James, you're not divorcing them.
Well, that'd be more like 50 quid, but okay. We can auction one of these off. Yeah.
Okay, marvellous. Well, until next time, please do look after yourselves and each other.
And don't have nightmares.